Eve Ensler is going to fly to Michigan and perform the Vagina Monologues on the steps of the Capitol so we can reclaim this house for our voices. Are you in? Are you in? Well, I have 3 important jobs up here today to get us started. The first one is a little bit of housekeeping. You are welcome, whether you are media or our guests here, to tape the first 3 minutes of this program while I speak, while our amazing House members, Barb Byram and Lisa Brown, speak, and while the amazing, incomparable Eve Ensler speaks. And after that, we can't let you tape. We are legally not allowed to let you tape the rest of the program, so please honor that for us. We appreciate it. The second thing that I get to do is show you a little gift that we did for Eve. So Eve flew all the way across the country to Michigan to help us reclaim this Capitol. We want her to have a memento of that. So we got her a great seal of the state of Michigan, and we had all the women legislators who are performing in this show sign it to tell her of our gratitude. So she never forgets what she did here in Michigan for all of our rights. And the last thing that I have the pleasure and privilege of doing is introducing someone who I'm absolutely proud to say, when she was elected to the House, got assigned to me to be my mentee. And I have never been prouder of my mentee, State Representative Lisa Brown, than the day she stood out on the House floor and would not be silenced. She would not be silenced. Could end in this. I don't know. And in case you don't know what happened, last Wednesday, we took up a bill, the most restrictive bill that has been introduced in any legislature. That would have the effect of overturning Roe versus Wade. And I decided I needed to speak in opposition to this bill. Because we're not going to let legislators turn the clock back to the 60s, where women didn't have a right and weren't ensured that they were going to have access to safe health care. And in my speech, I made a few points, but I dared utter the word, let's hear it, vagina. We shouldn't be legislating vaginas if you can't say vagina. I finished my speech. Nothing big happened until the next day, when I came to session at 10 o'clock in the morning, ready to speak to a bill that had nothing to do with vaginas, and was informed that I had been banned
from speaking on the House floor. Depriving me of my right to free speech and you as well. Your voice would not be heard if my voice isn't being heard, right? As well as Barb Byram. We represent 180,000 people in this state, and all of your voices were muted when our voices were muted. And I want to bring up Representative Byram to join me.
Wednesday. I had an amendment that would, a lot of the argument, unfortunately there wasn't much debate in committee on House Bill 5711. In fact, many women, many doctors, many women organizations were denied the right to testify in committee. But I had heard that they wanted to make sure that every child possible is born. Well, if that in fact is the case, then let's talk about all medical procedures that could perhaps limit children being born. That's vasectomies. So I attempted to speak to my amendment. I was denied the right to speak to my amendment. So I raised my hand, and with all due respect, I said, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to speak to my amendment. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to speak to my amendment. And he gavelled my amendment down. And then, being the daughter my mother raised me, hi Monty, I said, vasectomy. There, I said it. And I was gavelled that I was out of order or something along those lines, and I reminded the Speaker that, Mr. Speaker, I represent the same number of people in Michigan as you. Should have let me speak to my amendment. So the next day I was preparing to speak to some voter suppression legislation that passed the House and Senate. Silencing more voices. And I was informed by Floor Leader Siegel that Floor Leader Jim Thomas had indicated that I would be banned from speaking. So my response was, really? Okay, so I put it out on Facebook and Twitter and let the whole world know. Then when it came time, I had some guests in the balcony. I wanted to just merely recognize my guests in the balcony. And so Floor Leader Siegel asked Leader Thomas if she could at least recognize the guests in the balcony. And he said no. She posted it on Facebook. So my response to our floor leader was, oh, that upset him? Give me a minute. So my friends, there are two words that they don't want to hear on the House floor, and that's vagina and vasectomy. But my friends, there's one thing they don't want us to do in November, and that's vote. So I am so honored and so humbled that you all came out tonight. And I am just overwhelmed by the amount of support that we are receiving, not just in Michigan, but around the United States, around the world. It is so humbling, and for a woman like me, it makes me speechless, which is very hard to do. So it is my honor and my privilege to introduce Eve Ensler.